Hello friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing a few new things that I got from Walmart makeup wise. A lot of it is hard candy. As much as I explore that line, there always seems to be something more that I didn't know about or feel the need to try, so that's what we're doing today. I do have some fall decor up back here. My garland, I will say, it came out of the bag looking a little haggard. I don't know, I may still switch that up this season. I feel like there's just some bare spots and it's a little bit frustrating. I love the little pumpkin lights that I have strung throughout, but the garland is a bit of an issue. Sometimes you just don't know until you put it up. So we will see about that. But a few of the things that I got were actually skincare related. Last week I was having some major breakouts right around this part of my nose. I do have some perpetual redness there from like broken capillaries, but I just kept getting little zits right around this crease of my nose. And the only big factor I had really changed was I had broken into a new Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. I didn't know if they changed the ingredients or just something was suddenly not jiving with me, but I thought maybe I need something more for like blemishes because we have something downstairs that Bub sometimes uses too, like a little zit treatment down there, but I didn't have anything upstairs. So I ordered this from e.l.f. I haven't used it yet. And by the way, to fast forward through the issue, I remembered I had some zit patches and those ended up working really well. But in the meantime, I had ordered a few things to possibly add to my morning skincare up here that pertain to blemish fighting. So I got this triple acid resurfacing serum. It says blemish breakthrough from the e.l.f. skincare line. I thought maybe I'll work that into my routine, although I'm already using some niacinamide. This seems to specifically cater to blemishes. And then I didn't even order this, but they just put this in, this blemish breakthrough acne fighting spot gel. It's a 1% salicylic acid treatment. Looks like this. I think this has been around in e.l.f.'s line for a while, but I thought maybe I'll use that as well up here if I'm having some kind of issue. I also, since I had gotten a little suspicious of my face base, I went ahead and ordered a Holy Hydration fragrance-free face cream, and I thought I could always work that into my morning skincare if need be. But since things have cleared up, I mean, I haven't been having any more issues, so I might just set this aside and wait till I run out of something. But yeah, my area has totally cleared there right now, so I'm gonna kind of just go back to what I was doing because it seemed to be working fine for a long time, so we'll just see. Now I am armed up here if anything crops up and I want to put something on under my makeup. So getting into the makeup, I'm going to go ahead and go into a foundation. This is not a new one. My new stuff is mainly for eyes and I have a couple of face items. I just thought I'd bust out something I hadn't used in a while. This is my Relove by Revolution. So that's that like under $5 brand at Walmart that's kind of new. They have something called Super Serum Hyaluronic Acid Foundation and this looks really pretty on the skin. I love this. I have it in the shade F4 and to me it kind of reminds me a little bit of the L'Oreal Hyaluronic Tinted Serum, only not really as good of staying power, but it still looks super pretty once you blend it in. And the dropper does work. At first I just didn't have it filled up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dab that in with my e.l.f. Duo brush. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We went and saw the Barbie movie on Saturday and I really liked it, and I know we're kind of late to seeing it. The theater was not very full. There was just like one other small group of people there, and the movie like stopped most of the way through. I'd say there's maybe like a quarter of the movie left and things go black, and me and like another person from the other group went out to check on it and they're like, yeah, we may not be able to get this back up and running today. We'll either give you like some vouchers or something for a future movie or to give you a full refund. And so I'm like, okay, I'll go back and get my people. And then as I was going back in, the movie is up and running once again. So they didn't even realize they had it back up and working in that time. And then on the way out, they still gave us coupons for a free movie in the future. So that was nice. See what I mean about this stuff? It looks pretty radiant. I would say kind of like a medium coverage, probably a little more dewy looking than the L'Oreal, but I really like it. I think it looks very fresh. And then for the concealer routine, I decided I wanted to try this Hard Candy Translucent Sheer Envy loose powder. I had fairly recently tried their Chilling Wonder loose powder and I wasn't super impressed by that. I didn't really get the point of why it was chilling at all, but I thought maybe this is good, so I wanted to try that. And I've got my Glamouflage Full Coverage Concealer that I'm going to pair with it today. So this is also from Hard Candy and I wear it in the shade Fair. Is anyone else keeping up with the whole Bama Rush thing on TikTok. In the last year, like, it's become such a big thing for people going through Rush to like post their outfits of the day and like kind of vlog about their experience. And I find it kind of fascinating. I was in a sorority in college. I was in Pi Beta Phi. Fun fact, the Monmouth College chapter of Pi Phi was the first ever. It's the founding chapter. And when I was starting, like in the fall semester of freshman year, I didn't choose to go through Rush because I was in cheerleading and I just figured, you know, this is going to be a huge time commitment. I don't think I need anything else to do right now. Like, I just felt like I was going to be sort of overwhelmed. And then I come to find out there was a sorority, Pi Phi, that a lot of the cheerleaders were in, and in the spring they actually opened up their recruitment again and they asked if I would be part of it, and I was like, well, okay. So my Rush situation was very low-key. Then in future years, you know, being on the other side of it, I know what it's like to, you know, have the Rush parties and you're talking to the potential new members and you're going through that whole process. Like, I was part of it on that end, but for me personally to go through it, it wasn't much of a thing for me. It was like me and my roommate and a handful of other girls like just like came in the spring, and rather than doing Rush, we were just kind of invited to be part of things. Worked for me. And Belle and Eve are hilarious because now anytime they get dressed, whether I have my phone out or whether there's any kind of video being taken or not, they like to pretend like they're doing an OOTD outfit of the day, you know. I humored them before church on Sunday and they forced me to be part of it as well, so check out TikTok for that little gem. Okay, I'm trying to get into this powder. There's some kind of seal over the sifter and I don't know, how do I unstick it? Ah, there it is. Okay, so we have a little twister thing that covers the sifter when it's not in use, so that's awesome. But yeah, Monmouth had the first chapters, the founding chapters of both Pi Phi and Kappa Gamma. So I'm going to take some of this with my sponge here, or my powder puff. It does seem really fine, just like the Chilling Wonder stuff, but we'll see if we like the effect any better. It is pure white, but claims to be translucent. You know how that goes. Okay, I'm just setting the T-zone and everything. This looks like just one of those really light HD kinds of setting powders, you know? The texture is super silky and fine. It almost strikes me as more so a powder I might use as a finishing powder, maybe not so much a baking powder. But we're just trying it out. Ooh, it does look quite smooth up on that under eye. Look at that. Kind of blurring. Nothing sticky anymore. Kind of mattifying. Looking up close, it doesn't really look heavy or cakey. That did pretty well. I do want to set elsewhere on the face because I don't feel like the super serum is going to hang on super well if I don't do that. Oh, it does say on the box here, translucent loose finishing powder. This has been sort of my trick lately anyway. I take a little bit of this infallible 24-hour fresh wear, just get a little bit on my BK Beauty 107 and just kind of dab it elsewhere on my face. It doesn't take a lot of this powder to make you feel set. I do like my background, but a lot of that's not showing. Like I strung lights up in here too. I got some little pumpkins. Some might say it's early for the fall decor, but I might say that it's already August, school's in session, football's starting to happen, leaves are starting to release from the cottonwood tree. We're doing it. It's fine. And it may be some time before I actually get optimal fall decor. I might adjust this a little bit still. Okay, don't have a new bronzer or blush, so I'm gonna dig something out for that. Let's use Hard Candy Face Off in Sweet Tea. And we're just gonna swipe this around and blend it in. I really like this stuff. And I love the wand applicator. I say it every time, but those little things squeezing out of the squeezy tube with the puffy tips, I'm over it. Look how nicely this blends in. Easy. Hi, kitten. Kind of a stormy morning again here. Why is the rain always happening in the night and early mornings these days? I had to unload my memory card there, but I got that all blended in, thinking it's looking good. And for blush, I'm going to pull out an oldie but a goodie. It's Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. Such a nice blush. So much pigment in these Color Icon blushes. That all blended in with my e.l.f. blush brush. I am so excited for my videos that I have on tap for this week. I kind of have a plan, which is nice. I was working on sort of some preparations for that plan over the weekend. It'll make more sense when that video comes. Sometimes, like especially this back to school time, my thoughts get so consumed with the to-dos of the day and like, do they have everything they need for the back to school and the blah 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 and this and that. And it's like you don't have enough just free-flowing thinking time to come up with the creative ideas that you want to be coming up with. And I feel like this past weekend I was able to do that. There was more of a free flow of it all. Okay, we've got a lot of mellow wine on today. Mellow wine is not quite so mellow. And then I got this rose gold highlighter. This is a new thing from Hard Candy. Until recently I hadn't used any highlighters from this brand. And then I got the one that says Peach Please, and it's pretty. But it does have like kind of some microfine glitters in it if you look really close. Like, it's a pretty potent highlighter. And I thought this one has the 3 strips of color. Maybe I'll like this better. I don't know. It looks like it could potentially be very frosty. I don't think I'm seeing any glitter flecks, so let's just see. Let's just see how she goes. I'm gonna kind of stay over toward this lightest side. Whoa! Snow flurries. Okay. Let's just see. Okay, light application. Okay, that looks really brightening actually. Ooh, I might like that even better. I think it's even brighter than my Peach Please one, which is all one shade. I think these shades here are a little lighter than what I first had. And I'm honestly looking up close, I'm not seeing glitter particles in this. I'm surprised when Hard Candy put out the face-off like blushes and bronzers. I'm surprised they didn't go ahead and release some highlighters in that formula too. Unless somehow I've missed those also, which is entirely possible. I'm going to go over to this side now, and I'm using a little of the rose goldy side up on the hairline. Further dusting over that with a powder brush just to make it all really work in. Okay, so moral of the story, this highlighter can go hard, but I think it's a hit. I think you can pace yourself and get a really pretty glow that looks just like dewy skin, actually. It's just the highlighter that says rose gold on it. Then I'm gonna set it all with my Hard Candy Sheer Envy Longwear Setting Spray. Whew. Took some very direct hits to the face with that. So I saw Hard Candy had a skinny brow pencil, and I ordered that, but they didn't have it. So instead they did a replacement, and they replaced it with a dark brown felt tip eyeliner. I had already ordered the black, so because of that replacement I now have both the shades. So I'll just go ahead and do my own thing for brows, that's fine. This is the Revlon Color Stay Micro in medium brown. Felt so good in that last video to get things straightened up here in my room. Oh, nothing feels better like the next day sitting down and kind of forgetting that you did all that. You come in the room, it's like, oh yeah, it's all fresh and clean now. Maybe that's what was making my flow of ideas a little stagnant. I just had too big of a mess, I couldn't think. Judging from the comments, some of you guys really like the, oh, rain alert. Not that it ever stopped here in the last couple hours, but some of you really like the organizational content, and I was thinking, how can I do more of that? Probably the ones who like declutters as well. I know there are people out there also who simply like don't get that I have a lot of makeup. Like, they think that makeup knowledge must just be sent directly from the heavens and nobody has to spend time researching products and trying products to have their knowledge base on it. If you want thorough, honest reviews, your reviewer's gonna have to use some makeup. So I do have a lot of it. Okay, I'm trying to fill in here. I do like that Revlon Color Stay Micro. It works well. Granted, a lot of those skinny brow pencils from the drugstore do. I'm gonna take some NYX Control Freak. Have any of you tried the newer eyeshadow palettes from NYX that are out? It's like they reworked those little square palettes that had all the small square-shaped eyeshadows. I think one was warm neutrals, possibly. I got some different ones. Wondering if I need to be trying those. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and prime. Milani Eyeshadow Primer. And then I'll show you some of these products we have for eyes. Just continuing to charge through this Hard Candy brand, and it seems like there's always something I haven't tried, but we're really digging in. I'll show you what I got. I got another one of their marquee palettes. Now, I had one of these in a warmer color scheme. I had the one that's more purpley, and this one says Naked and Famous, so don't you love that? And it just looks like a really nice neutral wardrobe. You also have the 3 glitters, but the reason why I pursued this was because I'm concerned about our Maybelline Nudes of New York, and I'm worried that that's not going to be as readily available as it has always been. I noticed as I was linking it in a video the other day, I thought, it seems like this isn't just being sold everywhere anymore. I started thinking about other neutral drugstore options. So we're gonna try a look with this today. And then I got those liners as I showed, and I finally got the Shadow Stick in Cold Brew, as many of you told me I need to try that one because I'm so into Pony and also Bubbly. Those are the ones I already have. I'm excited to try this. Let's go into Hit Single right here in the middle. Among the 12 shades here, we have a variety of finishes, by the way. We've got matte, matte with a little sparkle, and these two are mattes as well. And then the rest are kind of like smooth shimmers, and then there's the glitters over here. So I really haven't had any quality complaints about the other palettes I have that are like this. I will say if you want to go in with the glitters, you know, you might want to have some kind of a glitter glue primer. Too Faced makes one. I believe NYX makes one as well. That's looking nice and smooth. But when Hard Candy came out with these new palettes, their 10-pan palettes, and then the quads as well, I feel like they just all around came out with a better eyeshadow formula. And they're really just becoming a top brand for me in the drugstore, for sure. Okay, so we're getting that all buffed in. It seems really, really smooth, easy to work with. I'm gonna take a little bit of Flash. Flash is a pure white here, but I'm gonna take a little bit of that just for some brightness up under the brow. Does that shade have shimmer in it? No, it doesn't. I want to go a little deeper in the crease. I'm going to go to Warm Up right here. This looks like it has not a very concentrated sparkle in it, but overall the shadow is matte. And yeah, it's showing matte on the eyes. Add that to my crease too. I definitely don't look at this palette and think, oh, it's as well-rounded as Nudes of New York was. Like, I loved how they, in a relatively small palette, worked in some burgundy, some plum, bronze, cooler neutrals. Like, it was all there. This doesn't seem to stretch quite as far, but I still think I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna go over here to On Tour, this really dark, cool brown. Very cool brown. These mattes are so nicely pigmented. Like every bit as good as a high-end shadow right there. Look at that. Not even the darkest shade that's available to us. Let's see what Backstage is doing here. This is our matte black. Adding that just in the corner area here, the furthest corner of the eye. The black is 100% here for you. Oh, it's more than enough. Okay, I'm now going to need to take in a smaller brush because there's so much shadow there. I need to move it around a bit. Small pointed. Just kind of trying to work that darkness around a bit in a more smooth way. Because I just barely tapped into it. I swear. I don't feel like, oh, this is out of control, this is off the charts dark, but I just needed a different brush that would do more of a blending action on it than just laying it down at this point. Now I'm really wanting to go back to the original crease brush, go back to a shade like Hit Single here, and bring that back up. You know what I mean? Like help that black fade more. That'll look really good. And then maybe we take a little bit of this like kind of deep copper here called In the Studio. We could work a little bit of that in at this stage of the game too. Fading out from that black. Oh yeah, here's where we're at, friends. I'm not feeling like going for a full-on glitter today, but I will take some of the shimmer that's happening. I want to use a little bit of After Party. So we have this like taupe kind of mid-tone color here. And the shimmer on these, the ones that aren't glitters, but they're also not mattes, they're just the standard texture shimmers, are really nice feeling. So I've got that on the inner part of my lid, or middle, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys, I saw something on Instagram and I reposted it to my own Instagram story a couple days ago. Savory cupcakes. He took stovetop stuffing, he pressed it into a muffin tin, he even put a sliver of cranberry on top of that and then topped it as frosting. He used mashed potatoes and he did instant, and I could do you one better and say just buy the Bob Evans to make it even easier, but they look so good. And so in my grocery order, along with this stuff and along with the things I got to make a low-carb taco soup and my little like meal prep containers for the week, I also got the ingredients to do those cupcakes. I asked the kids last night if that's what they wanted for dinner. And I'm like, okay, stay with me here. The concept is a cupcake that's not sweet. They will not stand for that, just warning you. Let's go inward and use a little bit of no filter right here. Oh, okay, that's really icy and white. Ultra pigmented, but not out of control. Like the texture of the shadow isn't dusting everywhere. In fact, I don't think I have any fall. Oh, I do have a little fallout over here. Dusted right away. The other day, Belle asked me if we could form our own sorority. And I'm like, oh, really? Like you, me, and Biddy? And she's like, yeah, because you're our best friend. Can they just stay like this forever? Okay, we've got multiple eyeliners to try. And I'm wiping off the excess from my flat brush on my hand. That black could have gone for days. I could have applied on like 2 other people and gotten a fully black application there. Wow. Should we try the brown? No, we need black today because we really went dark here. Felt tip eyeliner. I realized a few videos back that I really wasn't in tune enough with the eyeliners that are out there. So this claims to be waterproof. It's a little pen. It is a, you just said felt tip. I'm assessing it to look and see if it's brush tip. No, I just said felt tip. Let's apply and see how it goes. The biggest thing, like I expect when I open a new one of these that it's gonna go across my lash line well, because it's brand new. It's not quite as dark, like as coming for it as NYX Epic Ink. Maybe gaining a little traction out here. I'm going through the frosty forest right there, but ended up good. But the biggest factor for me is gonna be like, is it really waterproof? If I have to rub my eye or something in the inner corner later in the day, am I gonna see eyeliner on my finger? That's the question. We don't have the answer yet, but we will soon. All in all, I would say that was an easy experience going across my upper lash line. And in the future, we can try the brown as well. Oh, the brown is not just called brown, it's called fudging around. And my word, have they boxed it up well. I just rip into things anymore. Okay, fudging around. And what was the black called? The black is called Little Black Dress. All right, now I want to take this cold brew, kind of bronzy pencil. It's gonna play off of some of the shadow that's out in here. Hi, biscuits. And I'm gonna take it down. Oh, that's a great, like, medium to deep color there. And I can count on it not to smudge. When you apply it kind of like liner like this, it looks concentrated. If it shears out, look how dirty copper it looks. But it's really showing some depth when you apply it like this. I guess I am smudging it a little bit right out there. I'm into that. Okay, I'm gonna pop on mascara. Today it's gonna be the Voluminous Superstar Red Carpet Black, which I'm really into this. It's a 2-step mascara from L'Oreal that's reminding me a lot of the old school Double Extend, which in my sorority days, in my college days, that was the one I really loved. And I feel like when you buy the individual voluminous primer, if you have curl challenge lashes like me, it kind of drops the curl. It's just a little too, like, I don't know, weighty, juicy, heavy, but this primer that's in here is so good. And this was found at Walmart, if you're wondering where to track it down. And there's other versions of this Voluminous Superstar. You don't have to get Red Carpet Black. I was just, you know, enamored by the thought of red carpet, I guess, as I was in the store. The other packaging is like purpley, I think. Oh, guys, can I get you on to some amazingly good popcorn? The brand is called Lesser Evil. Who has tried this? I got a bag of this recently. Himalayan pink salt. There's no fancy flavor in there, but why does it taste so good? I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in there making it be so next level. But after I realized how good it was, I got on Amazon and I got like a 3-pack that gives me a couple different kinds to try. I'll be reporting back on how those are. I got a ton of primer on that eye and I'm not even gonna mess with it. Going to our number 2 side here, the black. And what I'm loving here is like the primer locked in the curl. Kind of the way Little Black Primer does. And I don't feel like when I go on with my mascara that I'm dragging it down. Look at that, it's a pretty big lash and it builds. You're just sitting there doing your makeup and you're like, thank goodness for makeup. Thank goodness for this fun experience we get to have. It's not so much that like, oh my gosh, I hated my eyelashes before, now look at them. It's more like, this is just a good time that we're having here. Thank goodness for that. A Wayne Dyer quote popped into my head the other day while I was showering. Like, it just came to me out of the blue. I wasn't trying to like think up positive quotes as I shampooed my hair, but it just popped in. And it was his quote of, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. In what ways can you choose that more positive outlook? Even about little things. How can you think on the highest level with all circumstances? This is going to be my goal this week. I'm shooting this on a Monday morning. Like, every little thing that I encounter, I'm going to think, what is the best feeling thought I can come up with pertaining to this right now? Like, what is the highest level, most positive way I can have my brain react to this situation? I do feel like, I say this now, and I'm sure I'll struggle with this at times, but there almost always is a positive angle you can take. The other day I found only one side of a wispy's lash. So you know how false lashes, there's a right and a left? Well, there was only the one side, and I remembered why, because somebody talked about a trick of taking your wispy, cutting it in half, and then swapping the sides to each eye. So I did that again with the remaining lash, and I'm gonna pop those on. I'll be right back. It's just like a little half lash. Okay, I got those lashes on. Aren't those pretty? That's just one side of a wispy cut in half and turned into outer lashes. I think that's nice. I'm gonna take a little bit of Hard Candy Stay and Slay. I'm gonna try using this the way I use like Kosas Cloud Set and or Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and just like further set T-zone and under eye here. Looks good. And then the lip product I got, this is from Relove by Revolution. I hadn't tried any of their liners, and this is called Superfill Lip Liner. The shade is called Glam. So let's just try that on and see how she does. Very standard looking pencil liner. Let's see what the color is. That's my cold brew stick there. Gosh, it's more nude than I thought. Oh, it's really nude. I thought it'd be deeper. Oh, gang, we're gonna erase my lips right now. Okay. Goodbye, lips. It's been nice knowing you. So, yeah, texture of this lip liner, it seems pretty standard. Look at the color. Look at that. That's not that. Want more darkness. What I pulled in was a lifter gloss here in the shade Topaz. I could just go over this with Topaz, or I could pull in an additional liner just for blending's sake. Let's take Hard Candy Kiss and Tell. This is kind of a warmer lip liner. I'm gonna add in a little from the outside. You could do this with lipstick too. I just don't want to be quite that non-existent with the lip. That's better. I can't get over the color here, and then it turns out to be a 100% pure nude. The shade name is Glam on that. Maybe I was just meant to be the one who told everybody about that. And then this is Topaz. This is the first ever lifter gloss that I bought. And we're just gonna go over this. This looks really pretty on top. Oh my gosh, I love that. And I immediately, you know what I wanna do is take a little more warmth from the eye palette and bring it up. Just one final adjustment I would make. Like, take just a little more of this in the studio, let's say. Next time I'll have to bring in the glitter. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. I love the way that's looking now. Okay, that's my face. Face of the day for a rainy Monday. What were the standout new products? I actually thought this loose powder did pretty good. I'm gonna work with that with some other things and also pay attention to the way it wears today, but I thought that did really well on under eye and T-zone. This is my favorite highlighter that I've used from Hard Candy. It's the rose gold with the 3 different color strips in it. Love the cold brew pencil. That's so pretty on the lower lash line. I'm gonna get a ton of use out of that. And the palette did well too. Like, these shades are all perfectly pigmented. Granted, we haven't played with the glitters yet, but I know what a glitter experience is going to be like. But I love this eye look. I like how cool and dark the black can make things, but you can still like warm it up a little bit toward the outside. I'm into that. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to tune in for what's to come later this week, hopefully on my regular posting schedule. I've got some fun ideas, so I'll see you soon. I love you. Bye.